We urge the relevant parties to honor their commitments to the ceasefire, resolve disputes through peaceful means, continue to seek a solution through dialogue and negotiations that addresses the legitimate concerns of all parties, and work toward the early restoration of peace in the Middle East and the Gulf region.
Did President Xi make any firm commitment to put pressure on the Iranians to reopen the Strait of Hormuz?
I'm not asking for any favors, because when you ask for favors, you have to do favors in return. We don't need favors. We've wiped out their armed forces, essentially. We may have to do a little cleanup work because we had a little month-long ceasefire, I guess you'd call it, but we have a blockade that's so effective. That's why we did the ceasefire. We really did the ceasefire at the request of other nations. I wouldn't have really been in favor of it, but we did it as a favor to Pakistan, with terrific people, the Field Marshal and the Prime Minister. But no, I mean, President Xi and I agree on many things, and we agree very much on trade. We're going to be doing a lot of trading. Our farmers are going to be taking in. I mean, our farmers are going to be very happy with the deal we made.
Has Trump's renewed bombing of Iran triggered Xi Jinping like never before, pushing Beijing to sharpen its warnings as US firepower reshapes the Gulf battlefield? Is Mojtaba's most powerful ally in Beijing now preparing its most dangerous diplomatic and strategic response yet against the United States, using words, weapon sales, and leverage all at once? Is Beijing's latest statement a terrifying warning to Washington, as US bombs fall on Iran again and China urges all sides to honor the ceasefire before the entire region tips over the edge? Has Xi Jinping finally lost patience with Trump's airstrikes, with China's foreign ministry effectively demanding an immediate ceasefire and the rapid return of peace to the Gulf? Is Tehran's reported push for firm guarantees from Beijing before any US peace deal a sign that Iran now trusts China more than Washington to underwrite its security and nuclear future? Does Trump now face a serious new headache as Iran appears to be eyeing China for nuclear guarantees, sidelining American promises at the very moment Washington claims leverage? As fresh tensions between the United States and Iran ignite after new strikes, Mojtaba's key ally in Beijing has issued a sharp warning, calling for all sides to stick to the ceasefire and turn back to diplomacy. On May 25, China publicly urged all sides to respect the ceasefire following the latest US strikes on Iranian territory, stressing that disputes must be handled through talks rather than more missiles. China's foreign ministry declared that peace must return to the Gulf region at an early date, framing stability in the Middle East as a priority not just for the US and Iran, but for the wider world economy.
We urge the relevant parties to honor their commitments to the ceasefire, resolve disputes through peaceful means, continue to seek a solution through dialogue and negotiations that addresses the legitimate concerns of all parties, and work toward the early restoration of peace in the Middle East and the Gulf region.
Interestingly, when pressed about reports of a possible transfer of Iran's enriched uranium, Beijing remained tight-lipped, avoiding any confirmation while signaling that sensitive talks may be underway. On May 25, reports surfaced claiming Iran is ready to move its enriched uranium stockpile to Chinese territory, a move that would instantly deepen Beijing's involvement in the nuclear file. According to Al-Arabiya, Tehran is seeking guarantees from Beijing before it agrees to any deal with Washington, suggesting Iran wants China's backing locked in before making concessions to the US. The report is based on unnamed sources and has not been officially confirmed by Iran, leaving the uranium transfer story in the realm of high-stakes speculation rather than declared policy for now.
Since the conflict between the US, Israel, and Iran, China has maintained close communication with all relevant parties, including Iran, and working for peace and an end to the conflict. We will continue to uphold the spirit of President Xi Jinping's 4 propositions and play an active role in restoring peace and stability to the Gulf region and the Middle East at an early date. Regarding the Iranian nuclear issue, China has been supporting a peaceful resolution through dialogue and negotiations. We hope that all relevant parties will seize this opportunity to reach a solution through negotiations that addresses the legitimate concerns of all sides. We are also willing to continue playing a constructive role in settling the Iranian nuclear issue through political and diplomatic means, upholding the international nuclear non-proliferation regime, and promoting peace and stability in the Middle East and the world.
China's remarks came after US strikes hit targets near the Strait of Hormuz, a vital oil corridor where any clash risks disrupting global shipping and sending energy prices soaring. Iranian state media claimed that several Iranian nationals were killed in those attacks, portraying the strikes as a direct assault on Iranian lives and sovereignty rather than just on military hardware. U.S. Central Command stated that its strikes were aimed at missile sites and boats allegedly laying mines, presenting the operation as a defensive move to protect shipping lanes rather than an escalation for its own sake. Captain Tim Hawkins said, and I quote, "U.S. forces conducted self-defense strikes in southern Iran today to protect our troops from threats posed by Iranian forces. Targets included missile launch sites and Iranian boats attempting to emplace mines. U.S. Central Command continues to defend our forces while using restraint during the ongoing ceasefire." Unquote. The strikes reportedly targeted Bandar Abbas, Iran's critical naval hub and a major strategic military installation nationwide. The escalation followed Trump's earlier declaration announcing major combat operations against Iran beginning from February 28 this year. Washington claimed the operation specifically targeted threats posed against American troops, military assets, and regional strategic interests abroad. CENTCOM insisted the strikes were defensive measures designed to deter further attacks and protect American regional military operations. The renewed confrontation unfolded while Trump simultaneously pushed diplomatic efforts aimed at securing a broader nuclear agreement with Tehran.
We took that over in one day. We lost no one in Operation Epic Fury. We lost 13 wonderful souls, wonderful, special people. These incredible men and women gave their lives to ensure that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror will never have a nuclear weapon. Oh, and they won't. They will never have a nuclear weapon. I'm sure you know that.
This came as Washington maintained a blockade on Iran until negotiations conclude one way or the other, according to Trump. Trump also signaled a softer tone regarding Iran's enriched uranium stockpile through a recent Truth Social post online. The US president said he prefers Iran's uranium be destroyed locally or under strict international supervision elsewhere internationally. Reports suggest Iran is seeking guarantees from China and may consider relocating enriched uranium stockpiles there for security. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "The enriched uranium will either be immediately turned over to the United States to be brought home and destroyed, or preferably, in conjunction and coordination with the Islamic Republic of Iran, destroyed in place or at another acceptable location, with the Atomic Energy Commission, or its equivalent, being witness to this process and event." Unquote. Iran International reported fatalities on Larak Island after alleged American strikes intensified tensions near the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Iran International said, and I quote, "Several people were reported killed after what Iranian outlet SNN described as a US-Israeli attack on the southern part of Larak Island near the Strait of Hormuz early Monday local time." The report named 3 of the alleged victims as Abbas Islami, Godrat Zarangari, and Abdul Reza Golzari, though the total number of casualties remains unclear. There were also unconfirmed reports that those killed were affiliated with the IRGC. Unquote. Additionally, Iran's Revolutionary Guard claimed it shot down a US MQ-9 Reaper drone over the Gulf region, framing the downing as proof that American surveillance platforms are no longer safe above these contested waters. The guards also said they opened fire on an F-35 stealth jet and an RQ-4 reconnaissance drone after those aircraft allegedly entered Iranian airspace, sending a signal that even high-end US assets will be challenged. Iran claimed that firing at the F-35 forced the stealth fighter to retreat from the area, a narrative meant to show that its air defense systems can push back even against America's most advanced warplanes. The Revolutionary Guard warned that they reserve the right to respond to any US ceasefire violations, making clear that every strike, drone flight, and naval move could now trigger a dangerous spiral of retaliation.